If you're trying to lose belly fat, I'm going to save you years of frustration right now. 4 months ago, I completely lost myself. But I made a comeback using every fat loss hack I knew to finally lose my belly fat. These are the same hacks I've learned over the last 10 years and used to help so many people feel like themselves again. But trying to lose fat without this is just physically impossible, and I'd hate for you to waste your time. So I'm breaking down 25 quick lessons I wish someone told me when I first started. I promise you, I'll save you years of mental frustration and maybe even your sexual frustration as well, as you'll be getting all the ladies now with your new rocking body. So when I got back into it, I made the dumbest mistake anyone can make when trying to lose fat. I started eating less. And naturally, I felt like absolute shit. I was moody, I was picking fights with pigeons on the street, I had zero energy, and some nights I just snap and eat everything around me. Even the neighbor's cat started looking delicious. My workouts were garbage. I had no energy to be active, so I was barely burning any calories. And then one day I said, fuck that. So I stopped starving and I just started eating 500 calories below my maintenance. And suddenly, I found my balls again. I started lifting heavier. I had energy again. I didn't feel like a little bitch in the gym. Walking more, moving more, living more. And that fat was finally coming off. So here's the first lesson. Don't lose fat like a 1,200 calorie zombie. Lose it like a fucking lion that's eating and hunting, repeat. And you have no idea how much you should be eating. Here's a simple way to know how many calories you need to maintain your weight. So take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 14 if you're a very lazy person. Multiply it by 15 if you're moderately active. And if you're super active, always training, multiply it by 16. Once you get that maintenance number, then you just minus 500 calories from that, and you're on that fat-burning sweet spot where you don't want to kill yourself. And if you want to lose 4.2 kilos of fat in the next 30 days, I'll send you one powerful strategy a day on exactly how to do it. But what's the best diet to get you into that 500 calorie deficit? Honestly, it's like choosing a partner, whether it's a big one, a medium one, or maybe even a midget. They can all get the job done. You need to find what works best for you. Every single diet you see online works for one simple reason. They all create a calorie deficit. Take keto, it restricts carbs. Intermittent fasting, it restricts the time window you can eat in. And carnivore, it cuts out anything that isn't an animal. So if you're someone who hates breakfast, cool, intermittent fasting might suit you. But if you're someone who loves food variety, a good old-fashioned balanced diet will be more than sustainable for you. The point is, pick the style that keeps you in the deficit without making you miserable, and one you can actually follow. You could have the most science-based, optimal diet, but if you can't follow it, it's shit, my friend. Now let me let you in on a little secret. Every single time I got fat and had to clean things up, I never followed a proper diet. No calorie apps, just one rule. Hit my protein goal like my life depended on it. I always tell myself, okay, you can have fun with food, just get your protein intake first. But protein fills you up so much, by the time you hit your target, you've barely got any room left for all that nonsense you want. It's like telling her, just the tip. You know it doesn't end that way. I had a client recently tell me, bro, I hit my protein, but I'm still hungry. It doesn't work with me. I said to him, am I a liar? Is science a liar? So I made him weigh every meal and send me pictures. And I told him, if you're genuinely not full after hitting your protein target, I'll do 100 burpees. If not, you do. Let's just say after this, he listened to everything I said with a new profound mind. But to be fair, I used to struggle hitting my protein as well. I didn't even know what 50 grams of protein looked like until I broke it down. So let me show you exactly what 50 grams of protein looks like. 170 grams of cooked chicken breast, 200 grams of lean cooked ground beef, 8 large eggs, and 2 scoops of whey protein. Once you start building your meals around this, you'll naturally stay in your calorie range without feeling like Godzilla. And the best part is you'll have some calories left so you can do little naughty things at the end of the day. And here's a pro tip. If you're going to cheat, try to do it with a meal that has protein in it. So skip the pizza, maybe smash a nice giant juicy burger with a big patty inside. That's how you lose fat and build muscle and still live your damn life. But the truth is, that's only going to work if you understand this next crucial concept. And let me take you back a few years ago. I was on a date once, very sexy lady. So I took her to a fancy place. I was feeling myself. But the bill comes and I whip out my card. Boom, declined. It turns out I had maxed my credit card without even knowing it. And the worst part is I didn't even know I was spending that much. You see, putting on fat works the exact same way. We tend to spend our calories on foods without even knowing it. We blink, we've lost ourselves. Multiple studies have shown us that we underreport how many calories we eat by 50%. And this is purely because we don't know what 100 calories looks like. Now let me ruin your day real quick. Two Oreos, 100 calories. A few fries, 100 calories. This much Coke, 100 calories. 7 freaking walnuts, 100 calories. And a sad little bite of cheesecake, you guessed it, 100 calories. But after you start learning what 100 calories looks like, you start realizing there's a lot of things you don't even want to spend your calories on. And it's keeping you fat for no reason. You'll start realizing that a protein bar and a Snickers bar have the same damn calories. That the sauces you ignore add 200 calories. And 150 grams of rice looks very similar to 100 grams of rice. So here's what you do. Don't be lazy. Track everything for only 1 week. Just one. It'll open up your eyes and then you can be happier with your food. And if you don't want to do that, every time you eat something, just ask, how many calories is in this? Google it or chat GPT it, whatever. Just start asking questions and start learning of what costs what calorie-wise. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just have to be aware. Because if you don't build that awareness, you'll keep racking up fat debt, just like my credit card on that date, and your results will decline. But here's where most people fuck up. They tell themselves the biggest pile of horse shit, I'll burn it off later. I've done this my whole life. Hell, I just did it a week ago. I told myself that lie for a 350 calorie croissant. So I ran the numbers. I ran literally for 35 minutes straight to burn off that one damn croissant. And then I did the same thing with a large McDonald's meal. 2 hours. It took me 2 hours of intense lifting and jiu-jitsu to burn it off. So before you eat it, just pause for a second. Think about how hard you're working your filthy ass in the gym every day. And then ask yourself, is this bite really worth undoing all of that hard work? And sometimes it is. But eat like a dog, everything, every day, everyone. No. Now you could be training hard, eating clean, doing everything right, and still not lose fat. And this right here is why. I fell for it too literally just a month ago. After every meal, I needed a big old dessert. I couldn't help it. It was like a reflex. I needed it or I'm dying. So I did this no sugar challenge to break the addiction, and it actually worked. I finally gained some self-control because I couldn't say no before, and that felt priceless to me. But obviously, I'll want to shave my eyebrows off if I never eat ice cream again. So I had a rule, Saturdays only. But when it came to fat loss, I was shooting myself in the asshole every damn weekend. Because the moment Saturday hit, we're having a fucking fiesta, baby. See, I was carefully eating all week, staying in my 500 calorie deficit every day for 6 days, which is about 3,000 calories in a deficit. That's almost 1 pound of pure fat lost. And then Saturday came and I'll eat 3,000 calories in just one dessert. One night, gone. I reversed my suffering for the whole damn week in just one day. And look, I'm not saying don't have fun on the weekend, but if you're going to, you've got to balance it out. If you had a big dinner on Saturday, cool. Maybe fast on Sunday morning. If you're going out on Friday night, eat lighter on Wednesday and Thursday. Take sandwiches to work, for example. If you have a gathering coming up and you know you're going to be cheating there, then maybe a day or two before, you take it a bit easier. Because we both know it's very hard to out-train a bad diet. And most of the time, you're just better off training yourself to avoid all these temptations in the first place. But what if I told you avoiding temptation doesn't have to be as hard as you make it out to be? I'm going to be real with you. Infidelity has always been around me from early on. And I made a decision that I want no part of that bullshit. So when I'm in a relationship, I am. No dating apps, no girl best friends, no one getting too touchy-patchy with me. Because I know if I leave the door even slightly open, temptation walks inside And fat loss, it's the damn same game. Because if you got food delivery apps on your phone, your house is full of cookies, ice cream, snacks you know you cannot stay away from, then someone is getting cheated on. And this isn't a discipline problem, it's a booby trap problem. So get rid of the booby traps, delete all the apps, have no junk in the house, make it a rule. And if you're constantly surrounded by fat friends who just want to eat and drink, get them out. And if there's a McDonald's on your daily route out, maybe don't go this way, maybe go the other way around, escape that shit. And most importantly, get everyone on your house on board with you, or ask them to be a little supportive. Just ask them not to be a fat piece of shit in front of you. Because if you're eating chicken and rice and they're smashing KFC right in front of you, it's not looking good, soldier. We have a rule in my house. If you want to cheat and do your filthy things, do it privately. Now, once the junk's out and your house is clean, there are a few fat loss weapons you should keep locked and loaded right in the open. Because these bad boys make dropping fat easier every damn day. I'm going to be real with you. I eat like a fat fuck. You won't even believe it. I'm bulking right now, and for the last month, I was eating fast food every single day, enjoying my life to the maximum. I've been putting on muscle fast and not too much fat because I've been using 3 supplements to help me control my appetite and burn more calories. So firstly, anytime I want to eat some junk and I knew I was doing something I shouldn't be doing, I just drink a protein shake first. Not only will it help me hit my protein target, it's low calorie and I'll be doing less damage in whatever I'm about to do afterwards because it keeps me full. Now make sure your protein shakes are whey protein and not some plant pea-based bullshit. Because whey protein is fast digesting, highly absorbable, and is packed with all the amino acids your body needs to actually build muscle and recover properly versus the other bullshit that exists on the market. And for me, dairy, it's a disaster. Every time I have it, the neighbors are calling the police saying there's a bomb in the building. So if you're anything like me, choose a whey hydrolysate. It's very easy on the stomach. If not, go with a whey isolate. The next supplement is the king of all supplements and it saved my life. And maybe if I wasn't taking it, my voice might sound like this because it's gonna make you stronger, faster, and more muscular. Look at this video game. You see this bar? That's your explosive energy during a workout. You start strong, you're lifting heavy, you're pushing hard, but halfway through, you're losing energy and that bar's getting empty. But what if you had a second energy bar you could depend on? So mid-workout, you can keep lifting heavy, you don't slow down, and you build more muscle and burn more fat. That's exactly what creatine does. Take 5 grams a day, let it load into your body, and after 2 to 3 weeks, kablam! Your fuel tank upgrades. But now, not everyone feels this. There are some people who are non-responders. So try it out and see if it works with you. And the last one, every time I was tired and I didn't want to train, this is like a transgender supplement. It transformed me from a tiny little girl into a fucking caveman. So in this video game, when your health drops below a certain level, he enters rage mode and suddenly starts doing a bunch of powerful shit. The only way to activate that version of yourself is with caffeine. A good pre-workout. Then suddenly your treadmill run is on speed 9 instead of speed 7. Your bench press, it's 65 kilos, not 60. You're just operating on a different level when you're caffeinated. But do you need supplements? You don't. You can make progress without them. But just like on your first date, you could show up and be yourself. Maybe she'll like you. But let's be honest, you're using every filthy tool you've got. Your best jokes, your perfume, your sexiest underwear, and a lot of breath mints right before the door even opens. Why? Because it matters. So why wouldn't you do the same thing with your body? Something that is 10 out of 10 important to you, and if you can afford it. But aside from the supplements, there is nothing I hate more when I see people trying to lose fat and they do this. Last night I was coaching someone who has a dietitian. She's paying money for a meal plan and she's still gaining weight. So I did an audit. I asked her, what do you like eating? And I was pissed off when I heard her answers because they were good ones. She loves strawberries, which are high volume foods, meaning they're low calorie. You can eat a whole ocean of these and still stay lean. She loves salmon, packed with protein and omega-3s. But her dietitian warned her against it. She was eating like her dietitian, what she likes, not herself. And that's the problem. Everyone has a few healthy foods they actually enjoy. but they ignore them because some wanker advised them what they like instead. Imagine you hate chicken and rice, but you love fish and sweet potato. Why force that chicken and rice? Play to your strengths. But we're not going to be just picking random crap we like. Nope, we're going to be choosing high protein and high fiber foods because these two are scientifically proven to keep you feeling full. So here's a list of some of the best protein and fiber sources you can mix and match. It's just like relationships. People cheat when they're starved or deprived. But if you're feeling full, satisfied, getting everything you need, you'll stay loyal. So same with your food. And honestly, sticking to your diet is a lot easier if you do this. So my first girlfriend and I were together for about 7 years until she moved away, long distance. Now, it wasn't the same, but sometimes we still had to get jiggy online, if you know what I mean. It's not ideal, but it scratched the itch. And that's exactly how your cravings work. You want dessert, okay? But you don't dive into a tub of Ben & Jerry's. Sometimes your favorite fruit or some Greek yogurt with some honey will get the job done. I'm not saying you should only eat those things. You should still enjoy the foods you love. But when the cravings hit, try to grab a smarter substitute first. Because one little swap here and there can save your ass from thousands of calories without feeling like shit. But here's the twist. There are times I don't want you to diet. Because honestly, sometimes it's good taking a break. After I ate relatively clean and dropped some fat, I gave myself a week at just my maintenance calories, not the deficit, just to feel human again. And then I went right back into it, stronger and more dialed in. And I just keep repeating that process, maybe 1 week on, 1 week off, maybe 2 weeks on and 1 week off. And I'm not making this stuff up. The Matador study literally proved that taking structured breaks can lead to more fat loss and better diet adherence. Think of your fat loss progress like a wave. It builds, peaks, and then pulls back a bit before coming back even stronger. And that pullback, that pause, isn't failure. It's just momentum resetting. And I have one more hack for the people who want pizza and abs. Every Tuesday in Dubai, it's buy one, get one free pizza night. But I made a deal with myself. I only get that pizza if I do 3 things first. Hit my protein and my fiber goal, and I slam back 500 ml of water. Because if I don't, that's the difference between eating 1 box of pizza and 2 boxes of pizza. Trust me, I've tested it. Most of the time, we're not even hungry. We're just dehydrated or thirsty. And the moment I started carrying a bottle of water with me literally everywhere, not only did my pee go from being yellow to clear, I started feeling fresher, fuller, and I stopped eating like a maniac. Now, after doing all of this, I built a lot of muscle and I've lost a ton of fat all over. But I still have a bit of belly fat there. Because the truth is, you can target where you build muscle, but you can't target where you lose fat. Years ago, I was so desperate for abs. I trained abs twice a day. I was doing 100 crunches, 1,000 sit-ups in my bedroom. And I got nothing. Fast forward to last month, I got abs with 0 ab training. Because the truth is, losing belly fat comes down to one thing: staying in a calorie deficit long enough. That's it. You can do all the crunches in the world, but it won't matter if your body fat is still high, covering those abs. Your belly is usually the last place to shrink because it protects all your vital organs. Your body's just surviving. So if you really want to lose that belly fat, you've got to keep chipping away constantly at your overall fat stores. It might go from your face, it might go from your titties, it might go from your arms, and then finally off your belly. And for most people, you start seeing your abs when you're about 20% body fat. Now, losing fat isn't just a physical game, it's a massive mental one. And the biggest trick your brain plays is making you think nothing's working. A few months ago, I was coaching group classes at the studio during a fat loss challenge. Most people made serious progress. They were losing inches, feeling stronger, looking so much better. But guess what? They were still unhappy. Why? Because the only thing they were tracking was the number on the scale. And here's the thing, some of them were building muscle, which weighs something, and also losing fat at the same time. So their body was changing in all the right ways, but the scale wasn't budging. This is literally me weighing 71.60, drinking a liter of water, and then weighing in 72.60. The scale fluctuates like crazy. It doesn't tell you the full story. So here's what you should actually track: your progress pictures, How your clothes fit, compliments from people who haven't seen you in a while. Is climbing the steps easier now? Do you feel better in your body? These are real results, not some bullshit number on the scale. Nobody gives a damn about what you weigh. If the scale goes slightly up, don't lose your mind. No one's gonna pull up to you and be like, oh my God, you're 81.5, you're not 81. Relax. You're not a carton of milk. Your worth isn't measured in grams. And if someone comments on your weight, you'll fucking slap the shit out of them. Now here's why 90% of the people never get results. It's because they give up too early. You'll be doing everything right and it won't look like anything's happening at first. Look at this bowl of Cocoa Pops. The Cocoa Pops are your body fat. After a week of effort, does it look any different? Nope. Still a full-ass bowl. But if you stick with it for weeks and months, you'll start to see the Cocoa Pops disappear. And maybe the bottom of the bowl. That's fat loss. It's slow, relentless, but guaranteed if you don't quit. So don't stop just because you don't see instant changes. The changes are coming, but at some point, despite doing everything right, they're going to die. And let me explain again with the story about my ex. So for her birthday, I got her this pair of shoes. She loved them. She was screaming, hugging, jumping. And next year, I upped my game and got her even more expensive pair, which she actually wanted more. And when I gave it to her, her reaction? Why? Because she didn't expect it the first time. It didn't hit the same. And fat loss works the exact same way. If you drop your body weight, your body adapts. It learns what you're doing. That daily walk, it burns fewer calories now. Your original calorie target, it's not the same. The weights you're lifting, your body knows what's happening. So don't get stuck repeating the same routine. You've got to keep recalibrating, especially your calories. If you're eating like what you did when you were 10 kilos heavier, don't expect the fat to keep falling off. You are a whole new machine now. And new machines need updated fuel plans. Now, all the tactics I shared, none of them matter if you're getting this one wrong. Because this determines whether you'll be following them or not. A few years ago, one of my friends needed a place to crash. He stayed with me for about 5 months and I loved the guy. But every night, he'd come home late and wake me up in my deep sleep. And then in the morning, he'd be blasting reggae music and dancing. And worst of all, he'd be trimming his nose hair with this really stupid trimmer. But here's what really happened. I was in peak shape when he first came. And then 5 months later, I was fatter than ever. Because my sleep was absolute garbage. And crappy sleep wrecks your hormones. It lowers your leptin, so you never feel full. And it raises your ghrelin, so you always stay hungry and always want more. Plus, being sleep deprived puts you in this shit mood and you start starving for energy, which means you just want to eat more junk. So set a bedtime alarm, one that tells you when you need to get your ass in bed no matter what. Because that one decision, it can be the difference between stomping through your day like Godzilla or gliding through it like a well-rested angel. You've probably heard this before now. 6-packs are made in the kitchen. And while there's some truth to that, that's only half the story. Because I got a 6-pack accidentally without dieting or training harder. And here's exactly how I did it. So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine landed a solid job in a city, but it's an hour away. And he's a stupid idiot, so this was a big, rare opportunity for him. His only way to get there was by car. So we made a deal. I'd loan him my car for a week, and in exchange, I'll ride his bike to work, which is a 45-minute ride each way. And day one of this brilliant plan, I locked the bike outside, and when I came back, it was fucking stolen. So now I had no ride, and I had to walk an hour and a half to and from work every single day. And that bastard didn't give my car back for a whole month. But here's what happened. I started dropping fat without even trying. I wasn't dieting hard, I wasn't training more, and I started seeing my abs. I hadn't seen them in years. Why? Because a huge chunk of calories we burn daily, about 60%, comes from your basic bodily functions. Training makes up just 10%. But a massive part, the remainder, is your steps, your movements, and your general activity. So whatever you're doing, you're commuting, running your errands, hanging out with friends, if there's a way to make it active, then do it. Walking is not as hard as dieting. Dieting is tough, but you need to be tougher than that, man. It takes discipline. And one of the biggest lies in the fitness industry, the one that keeps people stuck, is this cute little phrase, Just eat in moderation. So you're telling me instead of eating the whole box of donuts, I'm supposed to stop at one and smile? I can't fucking do that. If moderation was easy, half the world wouldn't be out of shape. Every client I've worked with knows they should eat less junk. That's not the problem. The problem is stopping once this craving hits. And if you're human and love food, it's hard. Ask anyone with a great physique, someone who's not on steroids, someone not with a private chef, not a personal trainer, whose job it is to be ripped. Ask someone who works long hours just like you, has responsibilities, and still looks good. They're gonna tell you they had to get serious, disciplined, and strategic. I've been training my whole life, weights, combat sports, you name it. And even for me, getting lean while eating in moderation, it's tough. It can work for a few people, but for most people, it's a setup for failure. You need more than moderation. You need a system and a limit. I'm not saying you need to be a monk to get lean. 2 or 3 cheat meals a week won't ruin your progress. In fact, they might even help you because you're going to keep yourself sane and satisfied and consistent. But here's where most people mess up. They get distracted by all the fancy bullshit. One of my boys at the gym was talking to me about his 110-year-old grandmother from Cameroon. She's healthy, lean, strong as hell. And on the other side of the room, my jiu-jitsu training partners were comparing their Whoop health sleep scores and their heart rates and all that bullshit. But you know what my friend's Nana didn't do? She didn't count her calories. She didn't use a fitness tracker. She didn't even know what a calorie deficit was. But she was active and always ate fresh protein, and she's out here outliving everyone because she just stuck to the fundamentals, the basics. So don't get lost in all this sauce. And the worst thing you can do is try to be perfect. Because perfection, that's a fantasy, man. Life's going to life, bad phases will come, and that's normal. It's out of your control. 5 months ago, I was finally ready to get back into things, and then boom, my shoulder dislocated again. Had surgery, had to wear a sling for months, feeling like absolute crap. I got fat, but it was a phase, and I got back to it. That's the game. Shit happens. The real test is whether you keep showing up. And look at this pile of Maltesers. You'd have to eat all of it to gain 1 kilo of fat. So if you seriously think one cheat meal ruined everything, you've lost your goddamn mind. So breathe, calm your tits, and just do better for yourself the next day. Now, as you keep pushing forward, you're gonna come across a lot of fucking wankers in the gym, on Instagram, on YouTube. And I used to compare myself to them all the time, especially being a personal trainer, and feel like shit, to be honest. But here's what I learned. Everyone's on a different path. Some people started 10 years ago and never had a bad phase yet. Some are juiced up on steroids. Some are willing to give up their favorite foods and just straight up hate their lives just so they can stay lean for a photo. And what you're seeing online, it's not the full picture. It's curated, filtered, and it's fake as hell. So comparing yourself to that, it's like comparing your behind the scenes to someone's absolute top highlight reel. It'll destroy your momentum. Now, I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable here and show you what real progress looks like. This is me right now. So yeah, I put on a little bit belly fat because this past month I enjoyed my damn food every single day, man. I lost a lot of belly fat. I've been dieting hard. I needed a break. Even with no diet, I got stronger in the gym. I'm hitting new PRs post my shoulder surgery. But most importantly, I'm in a much better place than I was 4 months ago. Now I'm recharged. I'm ready to dial in again, leaner, stronger, and sharper than ever. So don't get fooled by people who look shredded 24/7. That's not real. This is real life. You don't have to be perfect. Just aim to be a little bit better than you were a few months ago. That's the game. And if you want to speed things up and drop 4.2 kilos of fat, don't forget to sign up. Now, here's the truth most people don't talk about. A lot of people lose weight, but they still hate the way they look. Why? Because they end up skinny fat. And it's usually because they've been secretly wasting years training inefficiently. So if you want to actually build a body that looks strong and athletic and turns heads, then watch this next video. I'm breaking down everything I wish I knew before lifting weights. And I love you